When Arjuna brought Draupadi home and said, "Mother, look what I've brought for you," Kunti, who was observing a sacred vow at that time, replied, "Whatever it is, all 5 of you share it equally." Hearing these words, Draupadi was confused, and when Kunti came out, she was more shaken with what she has just spoken. "I have spoken these words while performing the sacred vow. It's bad if I break the words I have spoke during the vow. What should I do now?" Kunti was left in deep sorrow. Just then, Sage Vyasa arrived. He addressed Kunti and said, "Mother Kunti, it was none other than Lord Shiva who made you speak those very words. Do not worry, it is Draupadi's destiny to have all 5 Pandavas as her husbands." Then he began to tell a story. Long ago, there was a king named Nala in the kingdom of Vidarbha, and his wife was Damayanti. They had a daughter named Naliyani. She was not born with physical beauty, so even though she was a princess, people either pitied her or insulted her because of her looks. No one wanted to marry her. Sorrowful, Naliyani went into the forest and performed austere penance to please Lord Shiva. Moved by her devotion, Shiva appeared and said, "My child, ask me for any boon you desire." She replied, "In my next birth, I want a husband who is extremely righteous and virtuous." Shiva said, "Tathastu." She continued, "I also want my husband to be exceedingly powerful." "Tathastu," said Shiva, "and I want him to be a great warrior on the battlefield." "Tathastu. My husband should be supremely handsome as well." "Tathastu. Above all, my husband must love me profoundly." "Tathastu," said Shiva, and disappeared. Unknowingly, Naliyani had asked for 5 different qualities, essentially 5 different husbands. That same Naliyani is born in this life as Draupadi. "This is your destiny, my child," said Viyasa to Draupadi. Listening to this, Draupadi was stunned and began to weep. "I love Arjuna," she cried. "I came here hoping to spend a joyful life with him. But now you say I must be the wife of all 5 brothers. In our society, it's common for one man to have multiple wives. But have you ever heard of a woman with multiple husbands? What would the world think of me? How can I do this? The hopes, desires, and happiness I had in my heart on my wedding day, you have turned them all upside down with a single statement. This is not possible for me." Then Vyasa spoke again. "My child, you have 3 options before you right now. The first is to leave with Arjuna, your husband, and go away. Perhaps you can live happily with him for some time, but after a while, Arjuna might remember his family and blame you for making him abandon them. His anger and resentment would grow, and though he stays with you for life, he would harbor hatred toward you. Do you want the man you love to live next to you while despising you? The second option is for you to leave Arjuna and return to Panchala, but then, for the rest of your life, you would be seen as a woman cast aside by her husband, and no one would marry you. People would only look at you with pity, just as in your past life. Do you want that? The third option is for you to accept all 5 as your husbands, love them equally, care for them like a mother, and keep them united. In doing so, they can conquer the entire world. You would become an ideal wife, a great pativrata, a supremely devoted wife whom history has never. Think carefully." Draupadi wept for a long time, pondered deeply, and finally, with no other choice, agreed. "But the foremost quality of a wife is to love her husband. How can I possibly love all 5 of them?" she asked. At that moment, sage Narada arrived, exclaiming, "Narayana, Narayana," and said, "I will recount something that happened in the past. Once upon a time, there were 2 Asura brothers named Sunda and Upasunda. They forced Lord Brahma to grant them a boon that they could not be killed by anyone. However, Brahma instead blessed them that they could only die if they killed each other. The 2 brothers lived in such extreme harmony and brotherly love that they were practically one soul in 2 bodies. But as their demonic nature grew day by day, Brahma decided, somehow they must be made to destroy each other. He ordered Vishvakarma to create a woman whose beauty no one across the 3 worlds had ever seen or heard of. Vishvakarma gathered the most precious gems, extremely rare and valuable, from the netherworld, the earth, and heaven. From each gem, he took a small piece and combined them all to create an exceptionally beautiful woman named Tilottama. She was so magnificent that there was no one as beautiful as her before or after. Friends, can you believe that reading a captivating story can change someone's life? Simply reading it to your children can instill in them the values they need. Do you believe that for any problem you are facing or may face in life, reading a single story could provide the solution? Yes, it's possible. Only with the greatest epic ever told in the history of mankind, the Mahabharata. This story is 100 times more thrilling than a super hit movie. It's a challenge. The Mahabharata, written in Vikramaditya's words, is available in 2 volumes, both in print and as an e-book, on Amazon and 43 other online stores. This book is available in 54 languages worldwide. I've provided the links in the description below this video. Order now, because this is not just a book, it is a treasure house of knowledge for your life. Brahma instructed Tilottama, by all means, make Sunda and Upasunda destroy each other. At that time, the brothers were so close that it was as though they were one person, not two. Tilottama went to them, and the moment they laid eyes on her beauty, charm, and grace, they fell in love with her in just 1 second. They approached Tilottama and said, "Oh beautiful lady, the instant we saw you we fell in love. Choose one of us to be your husband." Tilottama smiled slightly and replied, "The moment I saw your muscular forms and handsome bodies, I also fell in love with both of you. But I cannot marry both, so whichever one of you is stronger, I will choose him." The 2 brothers agreed and began wrestling to prove their strength, determined to marry Tilottama. That contest of prowess quickly turned into a fierce battle. For 3 days, they fought brutally until, in the end, they killed each other. Thus, these 2 loving brothers destroyed themselves over one woman. Narada continued, "I am telling you this story because Draupadi is as stunning as Tilottama was. I don't want you to end up fighting among yourselves over such a beautiful woman. There is a solution to avoid this fate. From this day on, Draupadi shall spend 1 year with just one of you as wife. For that entire year, she shall not be the wife to the other 4. During that year, no one but her designated husband shall enter her private chamber. If anyone breaks this rule, he must spend 1 year in exile in the forest. So, starting today, because Yudhishthira is the eldest, for the first year, Draupadi shall be his wife. During that year, the other 4 must not go anywhere near her private chambers. If they do, they must go into exile for a year." All the Pandavas agreed to this arrangement. Meanwhile, Duryodhana, upon hearing that Krishna's Yadava army and King Drupada's Panchala kingdom were supporting the Pandavas, seethed with jealousy. He was enraged at his own inability to destroy the Pandavas despite trying since childhood. Instead, they were growing stronger by the day. He lamented, "Will I never be able to wipe them out? Will I never achieve the topmost position in Hastinapura? Must I and my children live under the Pandavas' rule forever? I cannot live my entire life taking orders from someone else. How can we kill them? Tell me, Uncle Shakuni." Shakuni replied, "Duryodhana, destroying the Pandavas is not as easy as you think, but it's not impossible either. I have a strategy that will eliminate them completely." Friends, stay tuned for the next episode, which will take this story to an even higher level. Don't miss it. We'll meet again next Saturday at the same time. Order my Mahabharata book now. The links are given in the description below this video. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so immediately. Till then, take care. Bye.